Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we have the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack. We're taking a look at how it fits here on our 2024 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. So the Kuat NV is a super popular bike rack because it has all of those premium features. Yes, it is a premium priced rack, but it makes up for it with how efficiently and smoothly it gets your bike from one point to the other. Focusing on our Cross Sport here, this is going to be good in terms of the height it sits up off the ground and how well we are still able to use our Atlas Cross Sport's features, like opening up the hatch. So let's imagine you are maybe needing to grab some things out of the hatch. Even with two bikes on, you pull that lever, tilt the rack down, and now you can see that with how small the hatch door is on the Cross Sport, we now have plenty of clearance between our door, our pedals, and our handlebars. We're able to get into that large cargo area. This is going to be especially helpful if maybe you're putting away groceries or you want to switch out your shoes before and after your ride. Now the downside though to the NV is that its handle is towards the center of the rack, plus this has a 60-pound weight capacity. So if you are lifting this up, you're going to have to lift up the weight of all those bikes. Fortunately, it snaps into place once you're in the drive position and you're ready to drive away. Now, I talked about that 60-pound weight capacity. What else can you carry with this rack? Well, this is a front wheel mount rack, meaning there's zero frame contact. So no matter what type of frame you have, you don't have to get a frame adapter bar. You're not worried about frame contact or scuffing up your finish. Each bike can also be individually locked. There is a lock core on the end of each tray to keep it secure for when you're parked. When you're ready to take your bike off, you just press this lever here for the rear wheel strap. Lift that up and out of the way. This strap can also be slid back and forth for your different wheelbases. Then you go over to the front, grab your bike with one hand, press this lever with the other, push this front wheel hook out, and then you're ready to hit the trails. Now, notice the height I had to lift that bike. That's going to be something worth considering with your heavier electric bikes. Another thing worth considering is the wheelbase of those bikes. Do you have a large mountain bike? Do you have different size tires? Well, if you look over at the cradles, you'll see that there's different grooves for those different tires. On its own, the maximum tire width you can carry is up to 3 inches. You do get a single fat bike adapter strap to carry up to 5-inch wide tires. But if you have two of those bikes, you are going to have to purchase one extra. Another thing is that this won't take up much room behind your Cross Sport Atlas, but let's take some measurements to show you exactly what I mean. Measuring from our bumper to the end of the rack, that's 28 inches. So when you're backing up into your garage trying to park into a tight spot, that's something to remember. Another thing is that ground clearance. So from the cradle to the ground, I have it at 19 inches, and that's how high you're gonna have to lift your bike up to get onto the rack. If you have an extra heavy electric bike, that's when you start looking at the access ramp add-on for your bike rack that we can just ramp the bikes up and on there. Now you can also fold this up to be more compact and neat. It folds up very closely to the Cross Sport, but there's enough space to fit my hand through. So 1.5 inches of clearance, and I'm not concerned about that making contact as I drive around because it's strong and sturdy in there. The length this will now add to the back of their Cross Sport is 10 inches. So big difference compared to when this was folded down. In this position, you can also see our bike repair stand for if you need to make any repairs while you're at the trail, or you can use this in your garage too. This fits into the 2-inch hitch, and you can tighten it down with this knob here so you don't have to carry around any extra tools. The locks for this rack for the hitch is the same as the lock for your bikes on the bike rack. So everything works together to make it easier for you without taking up much space. Now, speaking of space, Notice how our taillights are visible, and this back is visible too. Our license plate is slightly covered, but it's still fine, especially since our backup camera sits above the bike rack. So what's going to happen is when you go into reverse, you'll see part of the bike rack underneath, but you'll also be able to see if there's any people or cars behind you. Unfortunately, you are not able to open up the hatch with it in the folded up position, but fortunately, it's a very easy matter of stepping on this lever and bringing it back down for if you did need to open up that hatch door. So all in all, very smooth, very easy to use, great fit for your Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. If anything, I would recommend that if you want something lighter and more compact, that's where the Kuat Sherpa comes in handy. If you want a different color to match the color of your Atlas Cross Sport, this is available in gray, which is what we have here, or metallic black. You can also get the Kuat NV base that does not have the repair stand arm, but works pretty much the exact same way. But this right here was a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack, and you saw it on the 2023 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.